So Christopher, you've just been presenting your findings on some research you've been doing into attitudes of smokers.
Yeah, the perceptions and experiences of current smokers who have never tried an e-cigarette in their life, not even a puff. They don't really have much knowledge about what an e-cigarette is, what's in an e-cigarette, what it feels like to puff on an e-cigarette. They very minimal knowledge, but they're curious about e-cigarettes. They weren't particularly intending to quit smoking, they were just more curious about what e-cigarettes are, and should down the line they think about quitting smoking, whether e-cigarettes would be a good way to try and quit versus something like a nicotine patch or just quitting cold turkey.
Yeah. And I would have thought that research in itself is likely to encourage people to at least try.
Yeah, I mean, what we were looking for in this study is to identify the things, the factors that bring people towards e-cigarettes, that encourage them to use e-cigarettes, but also the things which turn people away from e-cigarettes. For example, the fears of an e-cigarette exploding in your hand, or the fears of being poisoned, or just the more realistic fear that an e-cigarette wouldn't give you what a cigarette gives you. So, people are, not all people, but many people are put off of e-cigarettes because they don't think it's going to deliver the nicotine in the same way, it's going to satisfy them, relieve their stress, relieve their cravings. But again, they never know until they actually try, and obviously when they do try, there's a range of nicotine strengths you can use, a range of flavours that you can use. But people largely don't have this sort of knowledge about e-cigarettes. Well, the study we conducted was to find out more about how we can attract more smokers to think about e-cigarettes as a cessation method, and how when we encourage them to try an e-cigarette, how we can convince them to keep using an e-cigarette in the longer term instead of falling back into smoking.
It's almost a piece of action research.
Say again, sorry? A
piece of action research in many senses.
We like to think that the knowledge we gain from this study will actually, it has practical use. We can tell smoking cessation services, here's what attracts people to this modified risk product, this reduced risk product, and here's what scares them away. We can say to regulators, in our experience, smokers who are interested in using e-cigarettes, they come to e-cigarettes, and to them the flavours, the variability in the flavours is really important to them, because if there's only really a tobacco flavour and one other, and maybe two or three other, it's not as attractive a proposition. They like that they're able to use one flavour, put it down, change flavour, and so on, and that's something which will help retain people with using e-cigarettes. If there's a restriction on things like flavours, it's not my words, it's the words of our participants, who say that if you restrict the availability of flavours, the motivation to just go back to smoking increases.
Okay, thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you very much. Thank you.